Jeff, I hope that you're hungry because I've now prepared the spread for us. I remember that you gave me the challenge.
Looks amazing.
To give us some beautiful fresh cheeses, locally produced as well, so that we can make sure that the South African cheeses pair with our South African wine of choice. Today it is going to be Laborie.
So Laborie is KWV's estate wine, based in the heart of Paarl. Great terroir for both MCC, still wine, and we've got a lovely fortified wine that pairs really well with the cheeses you put forward. So the cheeses you've arranged here for us, what we've decided to do together is do a wine flight, which pairs really well with all the cheeses. So I think we're going to start with a lovely Laborie Sauvignon Blanc, current vintage, so 2016, and we put together the pairing for the chèvre. And I know you know quite a bit about the chèvre, so I'll leave that to you.
When it comes to chèvre, first thing I think is Fairview. Fairview, with all of those goats just roaming around, delicious flavors, minerality that you pick up in the cheese itself as well, nice and creamy. If I think about any dish, I think either a bruschetta or I think a crostini with some nice fresh goat cheese and some asparagus as well. So with all of that minerality in the food itself, how do you feel about that? How does it match with your wine?
Yeah, well, it matches perfectly. So on the 2016 vintage of Laborie Sauvignon Blanc, you get a lot of those notes, a lot of grapefruit and lime on the upfront nose, and then sort of your non-fruit aromas, you've got some vegetal notes like capsicum and fresh asparagus, canned green peas. So Sauvignon Blanc does really well, great summer wine, nice for al fresco dining, so for your salads, for your goat's cheese, and it's a classic pairing coming from France. So very, very popular in the Loire Valley of northern France. A lot of Sauvignon Blanc gets consumed with nice fresh goat's cheese, so I thought it would be a nice way to start off the cheese board.
The next one, we're moving over to our sherry, as far as I can remember.
So we've got a pale dry sherry, stylistically very different from still wine. It's a fortified wine. Base grape variety here is Palomino, and then it's also inoculated with a special strain of yeast, which causes a flaw which covers the top of the wine. It gives the wine a great oxidative character. Served chilled as well. It works really well with your more complex style of cheeses, and also your creamy soft cheeses like brie, camembert. Yes. And I know you've got a lovely cumin-based cheese there as well.
Yes, this cumin-based cheese, it's actually roasted cumin cheese that we have now matured for 3 months. It's a delicious cheese, and what I loved about what you just said now is that yeast element. Got me very excited. I mean, just looking at the color of that fortified wine as well, it's beautiful. And if you're going to be matching, you will specifically see I've put the peaches here, the semi-dried peaches here with your cumin cheese. Perfect.
Okay, so as you've seen, stylistically the cheeses have changed quite a bit. So now we move into our more full-body cheeses that have had some age, good flavor body. So we're moving on to our Laborie Merlot Cab. Merlot Cab, so obviously dominated, as the label says, led by Merlot with a bit of cab in it, spent 12 months in oak. Merlot is one of South Africa's most drunk red wines. Very soft, very fruity, lots of more red dominant fruits on the nose there. So you got your plums, your raspberries, your black cherries.
And what about those lovely dates?
Lovely dates as well, goes well with see you've got some figs.
And all of the prunes that we've got on this side.
Prunes, great, and with a nice chunk of mature cheddar, this is a match made in heaven. So.
Well, the cheese that I've chosen for today is our 12-month matured smoked cheddar.
And then to round off the cheese board, I think this is a dual-purpose wine. This is one of the wines that has sort of made Laborie really famous. This is the Pinot de Laborie. It's a fortified pinotage, so it's very sweet. So before the grapes have fully fermented, fermentation is arrested by the addition of neutral alcoholic spirit, also made from the pinotage grape. So it's a lovely dessert wine. So it's a great way to end off the evening with something sweet, and also dessert wine, because of that high residual sugar, really works nice with the creamy, sort of rich cheeses that you would get. So it's a nice end off to the evening with a nice full body cheese and a great dessert wine. So.
I think something that I really appreciate about the Cremosola itself is that it is so versatile. These days, the style when it comes to cheese service is that we are building cheese wedding cakes. Cheese fondue is also coming back into style again, Jeff. And then, of course, a double-baked blue cheese souffle will always be one of my favorite fallbacks. Laborie, the Pinot de Laborie itself, with that double-baked blue cheese souffle. What better combination will you have?
Great.
But why are we standing here talking? I think it's time for us to dig in.
I think that's a great idea.